Well, unfortunately, I met Dan at a speed dating event.
A what?
At a speed dating event.
Oh, tell me about it. How did it go? Like, it's how many people were at the table? Have you done this before, the speed dating?
That was actually my first time giving it a try.
Have you done it since then?
No.
Did you do it that day with friends or you went alone?
I went by myself.
Have you done it before?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, yeah. A few times. I agree. Like the connection is nice in person.
Yeah, that's how we used to do it.
Yeah.
All right. So, went fine for me. So, you do the speed dating, and there's how many people there?
There was 15 total. 20 male, 20 female.
How long do you talk to each other? 5 minutes?
Yeah, I think it was a 5-minute timer this time around.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then just both of you just start talking out of nowhere. There are no games, there's no questions preset or anything. You both just start talking to each other.
Yeah, and I guess it was something you felt at first sight.
Yes, both of you felt the connection, and therefore you start dating. How long are you dating?
Well, we dated for about 2 months before the trip.
Okay, now tell me about the trip.
So about a month into our dating at the event, we saw each other a couple of times, and we talked most every day on the phone, and I felt there was something really special going on. So I suggested maybe we could spend a weekend away in Sedona.
Okay.
So Sedona is about 2 hours away by car. And Dan said he was available the second weekend of May. So I offered to book a vacation rental.
Okay, and who was going to pay for that?
Well, we didn't really talk about the details, but I offered to pay.
You offered to book it, but did you ever like run it by him and say, okay, you pay half, I pay half? Like, what was going to be the plan? That you would just eat it? That you would just pay for it?
I had always planned.
Hold on one second, I'm not talking to you. What was your plan is what I want to know. What was your plan?
Well, since I was, we talked over the phone, and I offered to put it on my credit card.
That's not my question. My question was, what was your plan? Let's say you had gone on this trip. Were you going to say to him, I want half, or was this your treat?
I guess at that time, I was really falling for him. So I felt I wouldn't mind paying for the trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, when you talked to him about the place you found, that place was how much?
Was $200.
But then you decided to upgrade to a better place.
Correct.
That was costing you how much?
$450.
Okay. And did you let him know that, or you wanted that to be a surprise for him?
So after that, we went on more dates. And I felt, there was something more. And as I said, I was really falling for him. So I decided to...
What do you mean by you felt there was something more?
It felt that I might be meeting, the right person.
Okay.
At that moment, I felt strongly about it.
Okay. We know all about your feelings. Have you ever had a conversation with him to see if he was dating you exclusively?
I was going to have that conversation.
Yeah, that's a pretty important conversation. So did he ever tell you that he was dating you exclusively?
Well, at that time, we didn't say we were dating exclusively.
And were you going out with him every day, or were you seeing him every weekend day? How was it? So
we would go out like 2 to 3 times a week and spend a weekend together. And then we talk almost every day on the phone.
Okay.
Sometimes hours at a time.
So, as it turns out, he calls you, or you call him before the trip. How long before the trip did he drop the bomb on you?
Well, I texted him to confirm the trip a week before.
Oh, a week before?
Yes,
okay.
And he confirmed, and he said he was all set to go, that he was really looking forward to it. And then I have the text message right here as the evidence.
Okay, and then when did he say, I'm not going?
It was on the morning of when I was getting ready, and he was supposed to pick me up in half an hour.
Okay, talk to me about that.
So, little context here. Like, I was looking for love, like Grace was. I was at these events and things like that. And again, we're not exclusive. I was not her boyfriend. She's not my girlfriend. So I'm going on other dates. I'm seeing other people. And at the time that she had texted me and agreed everything, I was all set to go. That week, I ended up meeting somebody, and the connection was really good. I've never felt a connection like that to somebody, and it's actually the woman that I'm with today still. So that connection is carried. And I didn't feel right going on this trip necessarily. I felt like it's not fair to Grace's feelings. I was trying to protect her emotions. So I know that I had a little bit of time to kind of figure things out from meeting this girl a week.
How long before the trip had you met the girl?
So Grace had texted me saying that we had a week until the trip. Is it still good to go? And I met the girl that night. At the time of the text, I was still set to go. That night, I met the girl.
Wow, and then that week, why didn't you tell Grace if you felt that? Because it's not like you knew the girl a long time and then decided to get serious. So if it was so instantaneous, why didn't you just tell Grace, I don't think I should go on this trip? Like, why did you wait until the morning that you were supposed to pick her up?
There was a lot of reflection going on. I was trying to figure out where I was with it. I mean, it's not a wrong.
Hold on one second. I want to hear them. Let the man talk. I really want to hear his analysis. Go ahead.
I've never done this before. I was just trying to, do the right thing and protect Grace's feelings, protect my feelings. It wouldn't have been fair if I went on this trip.
Right, but you must have been leaning towards going because you weren't canceling. Like, if you had any misgivings, don't you think it would have been a better thing to do to just cancel earlier and tell her, look, even if you're not sure what you're going to say to her, tell her, look, something's come up, I can't go, to give her a chance to have friends to go with or to cancel in time. Because there might be a cancellation policy she can take advantage of. But you just gave yourself all the breathing room you needed, and then she ends up eating it. Now, why would he be responsible for eating? I can understand how he's responsible for eating $200. In fact, you did offer to pay that.
I did, actually. She declined, actually, during that conversation.
Because she wanted the whole $450. He didn't even know you'd gone to the $450.
It was supposed to be a surprise.
By the way, what would you have done if you'd gone on this trip? Would you have told her, I'll pay half, I'll pay... how would that have worked?
I was already fully prepared to pay the $200 back before there was even an idea of me canceling. I was fully ready to try and be a gentleman and take care of that. So I would have offered to pay.
No. More of a gentleman would be to cancel as soon as you met Princess Charming.
Princess
that
Charming.
would be better. But, matters of the heart are complicated, aren't they?
Exactly, yeah. And I was ready to pay. I was ready to do the right thing.
Right. When you told her, I'll pay the $200, what did she say?
So we're there.
Well, first of all, tell me how this goes down. How do you tell her that you're not going to go?
So
wait, go ahead. You tell me. You deserve to be. You deserve to be able to tell me yourself. Go ahead.
So it was half an hour before he was supposed to pick me up, and he called me and told me.
At least he called you and didn't text you. All right, go on.
He called me that he couldn't go, and I asked. I was just.
I'm sure you were very disappointed.
I was heartbroken, and I thought this would be the trip that we would, become
Have you been to Sedona before? Of course.
No.
You're from Really?
No.
How long have you lived in Phoenix and not been to Sedona? It's my favorite place on the planet.
I guess it was just waiting for the right person to go.
Okay, so you don't go? When he calls you and says, I don't feel I should go, I've met someone else, so now it's a double whammy. Not only do you not get the trip, but he breaks up with you. So do you go?
I was just devastated.
Yeah, but better to be devastated in Sedona. It's beautiful there. You didn't have a friend you could say, oh my God, this guy, this jerk, come with me on this trip. Nobody you could call?
Well, I did call two of my best friends. They already made plans that weekend, so I just, I didn't want to go by myself and drive all the way there.
Oh man, if any of my best friends called me and said, I'm heartbroken and I have a house in Sedona, I'd say, I'm your man, Or I'd go by myself. How old are you?
I'm 26.
26. Oh, youth is just wasted on the young. It really is. I don't think at 26 I'd have gone either.
I just felt so humiliated and
humiliated in front of who? This stuff happens. There's nothing to. This isn't a humiliation. You weren't left at an altar. I mean, really, no. I mean that. I know it's heartbreaking or whatever, but and you liked him, but you dated him how long? A few months, 2 months. These things will happen, right? You have to kiss a lot of frogs, okay, before you get to the person. That's how it works, honey. Right? You don't have to put all your eggs in this one basket. I agree with you. He is wrong to cancel at the last minute. I agree with you that he needs to pay because it's his action that stopped the trip from happening. I don't agree that he has to pay $450 because he didn't even know that you had done that. So I can't hold him responsible for ruining a $450 trip when he had only ruined a $200 trip. I'm really glad that it didn't work out differently, that he called you and said, I don't feel I should go on this trip, because this actually means that you can pick him. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This is a decent person who doesn't want to lead you on anymore. And, so another guy might have gone on the trip, stiffed you with the bill because you were willing to pay it, and then the next week broken up with you, right? And that's not what this guy did, right? So kudos to him, but really kudos to you. Trust your instincts and, you just get back on the horse, honey, all right? Verdict for the plaintiff, $200.
The judge took words out of my mouth. That's exactly what I wanted to point out, that instead of taking the trip and leading her on, going on a trip, making her spend all the money and probably being very deceitful towards her, he decided to be a decent human being and actually set things straight. And he was right to call her and explain himself and being upfront and honest. So there is nothing bad I could say about this particular gentleman. She decided to do the upgrade, so it's kind of on her. But what do you guys think? Do you think she's entitled to get all the money back or none at all? Leave it to me in the comments below, and thank you for watching.